America has been surrounded around, this independence from Great Britain in like 1996, and so we asked this
Hold
question.
on.
Is it
was not 1996, Aaron.
Oh, hey man! What's up, guys? It's your boy ChristAC and my boy. Introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm Roman. I don't have a nickname yet, but yeah.
This man. I can't with you. Anyway, so we're starting this series. It's called In This Generation. And what it's basically things that are going on in this world that are controversial for some people. Whereas with others, they kind of have like a one-way direction. So whether that's race or whether that's equality or whatever, we're just going to be talking about that and sharing our input, not only as Christians, but as a college student. Okay, so the first one that we have is in this generation, we wonder if being independent is better than being dependent on a higher being, with our higher being, of course, being God. But of course, all these other viewers, it might be like Allah or it's pretty much all I got.
Okay. Dependent. Is it better to have a dependence on a higher being?
Right.
I see. I say so. I mean, personally, being a Christian and being reliant on God has really fueled me. I've been a disciple my entire college career, and I can't imagine not being able to lean on God through some of the challenges that I've had to face. Because humans are unreliable. I mean, I can hardly rely on myself. So it's kind of like, I think being able to rely on something that has greater power than yourself and being able to look to them for guidance and direction is really important to continue to fuel yourself, because it can be very easy to get bogged down by the stresses of life and getting discouraged when people don't pull through like you expect them to, but knowing that someone is always going to pull through for you, it's a pretty safe bet.
That's real. Yeah, I think I can relate, like, just being able to depend on God. Like, it is really hard to, like, depend on humans. I mean, we're humans. Like, we mess up all the time. Like, I mean, even just looking at, like, Adam and Eve, it's like, bro, like, they didn't depend on each other, and that's how, like, sin kind of started. And it's like, even for us, like, we kind of depend on each other, like, as humans a little too much. And it creates, like, oh, okay, like, if I don't know, taking a test, some people cheat because they, like, depend on that human to, like, do well. And it's kind of like the same way with, like, I mean, it could be even bigger things. I don't know, just like cheating in life with, like, if, like, illegal drugs were, like, passed around in, like, a car or whatever. Like, people, like, depend on, like, their friends or, like, their group to, not snitch on them. But then it's like you can easily snitch, and then it just becomes like, okay, I'll be independent of myself.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. Like, in the same way, I kind of feel like it with God is kind of difficult. Like, because he is an invisible being. Like, so it's more of like, not necessarily like the whole snitching part, but it's just like, okay, if I'm, like, really angry or I'm really frustrated, it's like, how can I depend on, getting that feeling of warmth and welcome from an invisible being that's not necessarily there. And so that was, like, a big struggle, because it was like, okay, well, if I'm independent, I can make my own decisions, and feeling like I can, get warmth from other people, whether that was, like, females or whether that was, like, from a friend group that, come and went or came and go. But yeah.
And that's an interesting point, because you said friends, come and go. And I think that's what makes it a challenge to rely on human beings, is because life takes unexpected turns, and like we were saying earlier, people make mistakes. And so if you're, like, fully putting all your eggs into a basket that has holes in it, you're going to lose some. And it's kind of like, it's kind of that tension, because it's like, I want to run to the things that I can see and the things that I can touch and hear and smell, but it's not fully reliable. So I need to turn to something that is fully reliable, but I can't see it, I can't hear it, I can't touch it, and it is a challenge, and that's why we're humans, because our brains it does have a tough time wrapping around the idea of like trusting an invisible being who we're told is good and loving and great, but then we look around and we see all of this pain and suffering, you know, or we look around and we see a person who's coming in and being really nice and encouraging and really trying to reach out to us, and we're like, oh my gosh, they seem trustworthy, they seem helpful, and we start turning our eyes from above to what's in front of us. But even the most trusting person has their flaws and can't always be counted on, you know. They can be perfect 100 times, and then you really need them one time, and they're like, I'm sorry, I can't be there, or they don't pick up the phone, or they don't say the right thing. I think I'm gonna sneeze. False alarm. Okay, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut that out.
Anyways, it's a normal conversation. I can't with you.
But yeah, I think the thought's finished.
That's real. That's real. I also forgot to mention that it is 4th of July, guys. So this is why we are having
Y'all
this
see my
conversation.
American flag? Hold on, let me get camera 2 in it. Hey,
Let's get this man out of here. Get this man out of here. But yes, it is 4th of July, and so America has been surrounded around this independence from Great Britain in like 1996, and so we asked this question.
Hold on.
Is
it
it
was not 1996, Aaron.
Oh, amen.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? Forget I said that.
You said 1990. Everybody, we celebrate independence from Great Britain in 1996, you guys. It's been, wow, not even 30 years. No, don't stop. Don't stop.
I think it's too loud.
Oh.
I just realized.
Oh, I'm breaking the sound barrier.
Yes.